Welcome to This Explainer. I'm Dr. Chem, and today we're stepping right into the cinematic world of chemical mysteries. We're going to see exactly how we can use a little bit of math to solve some incredibly fascinating, invisible puzzles in chemistry. Specifically, we'll look at how gas density data can be used to completely determine molar mass and uncover a chemical's true identity.
So here's the immediate hook, the problem we face as chemical detectives. How do you weigh a gas you can't even see? Unlike solids or liquids, measuring the mass of a gas is not a quantity that's easy to just accurately determine. Gases are highly compressible. Honestly, they're wild. Their volume changes drastically depending on the temperature and the pressure of the room you're in. You can't just put a handful of gas on a scale and expect a straightforward answer, right?
Well, to solve this, we kind of have to establish the rules of the game, and that really comes down to the conditions we're working under. On one hand, we have STP, standard temperature and pressure. That's 0 degrees Celsius and exactly 1 atmosphere of pressure. At STP, gases behave beautifully. Exactly 1 mole of any ideal gas takes up precisely 22.4 liters of space. But on the other hand, we have non-STP conditions. If the room is hotter, colder, or at a totally different pressure, well, that 22.4-liter shortcut goes right out the window. We have to use something a little more robust to find our answers.
And that robust tool? It's our foundational clue, the ideal gas law. PV equals nRT. That is, pressure multiplied by volume equals the number of moles times the universal gas constant times the temperature in Kelvin. This equation is literally the master key. It beautifully relates the actual physical amount of a gas, the moles, to the physical properties we can actually measure right there in the room.
All right, let's move into our next section, forging the tools, decoding density.
Okay, let's dive into this and see how we can manipulate our master key. We know density is really just mass divided by volume. And from our chemistry basics, we also know that the number of moles, N, is equal to the mass of our sample divided by its molar mass. If we take that relationship and substitute it directly into the ideal gas law, we can start moving our variables around, we divide out the volume, bring in the molar mass, and suddenly we've completely transformed the equation to solve for density directly.
Which leaves us with this incredibly elegant formula. Density equals pressure times molar mass divided by the gas constant times temperature. This gives us a sort of mathematical magnifying glass. Just by looking at this equation, you can see that the density of a gas is directly proportional to its pressure. So pressure goes up, density goes up. But it's inversely proportional to temperature. If you heat a gas up, its density actually decreases.
And you actually see this specific mathematical relationship in action all the time out in the real world. Think about a hot air balloon. The envelope of the balloon is filled with air, and a giant propane burner heats that air up. Because we just learned that increasing temperature decreases density, the hot air inside becomes significantly less dense than the cooler air surrounding it outside. That difference in density creates buoyancy, lifting the entire massive balloon right off the ground. Pretty cool, right?
Moving right along, Section 2, forging the tools, calculating molar mass.
So to arrive at that unique mathematical fingerprint of a gas, we take our density equation from earlier and we just do a snappy little bit of algebra. We multiply both sides by R and T and divide by P. And this brilliantly illustrates how that leaves us with capital M, molar mass, isolated all by itself. Molar mass equals density times the gas constant times temperature divided by pressure. And if you check the math, notice how the units perfectly cancel out here. Atmospheres cancel atmospheres, Kelvin cancels Kelvin, liters cancel liters, and we're left with exactly grams per mole. Perfect.
And now for the fun part, the climax, solving the mystery. Now it's time for us to act as actual chemistry detectives. Our methodology here will be strictly by the book. It's a simple 3-step process to identify any unknown gas. Step 1, we determine the density of the gas in grams per liter. Step 2, we use our derived formulas, or that STP shortcut, to calculate the molar mass. And Step 3, we take that molar mass and compare it to the lineup of known elements and compounds on the periodic table to find our match.
All right, here's our very first mystery. Let's say an unknown diatomic gas, meaning its molecules are made of 2 atoms bonded together, has a measured density of 3.164 grams per liter. Crucially, notice that we are operating at STP. Because we're at standard temperature and pressure, we don't even need to use the full ideal gas law. We can just use the ultimate shortcut. 1 mole of this gas occupies exactly 22.4 liters. So if 1 liter weighs 3.164 grams, we just multiply that by 22.4 liters per mole.
And boom, we get 70.88 grams per mole. We have successfully lifted the fingerprint of our invisible gas. This right here is our absolute prime piece of evidence.
Now we move on to step 3, comparing our evidence to the lineup of usual suspects. Let's look at the standard known diatomic gases. Hydrogen sits at just 2 grams per mole. Nitrogen is 28, oxygen is 32, fluorine is 38. But if we look closely at our 70.88 result, well, it's pretty much staring right back at us from the lineup.
The unknown diatomic gas is chlorine. Chlorine gas, Cl2, has a known molar mass of 70.9 grams per mole. The math perfectly, and quite undeniably, narrowed down our suspect. Case 1 is officially closed.
Okay, let's see how this builds in our second case study. Here, we're given a mass of 1.79 grams of a gas, and it's trapped inside a 2.5-liter container. We're still at STP conditions. Now think along with me here for a second. We aren't explicitly given the density this time, are we? So we're going to have to calculate that first before we can find our molar mass. Well, density is just mass over volume, so we simply divide our 1.79 grams by our 2.5 liters, and we uncover our very first clue. The density is 0.716 grams per liter. So the crucial point now is taking this density and scaling it up to a full mole to get our fingerprint. Because we're at STP, we multiply our 0.716 grams per liter by the magic number of 22.4 liters per mole. The liters cancel out perfectly, and we arrive precisely at 16 grams per mole.
If we take that 16 grams per mole to our periodic table, we can actually build a molecule. 1 carbon atom at 12 grams per mole and 4 hydrogen atoms at 1 gram per mole each. 12 plus 4 is 16. Eureka! Our gas identity matches methane, CH4. The detective method holds up once again, proving exactly how reliable this stoichiometry really is.
Let's wrap things up with our final section, the takeaway. Invisible math, visible impact. So you might be wondering, why does all this invisible math actually matter to us outside of a chemistry lab? It's not just textbook theory, I promise you. These specific calculations have an incredibly visible, literally life-saving impact on our everyday lives. Take a look at the design of car airbags. Inside your steering wheel is a solid chemical called sodium azide. Upon impact, it instantly decomposes into solid sodium and nitrogen gas. Engineers use the exact molar volume and ideal gas law calculations we just talked about to ensure that exactly the right amount of sodium azide is used. If they miscalculate, the airbag won't inflate enough to protect you, or worse, it might overinflate and rupture. They absolutely have to know exactly what volume that nitrogen gas will occupy under specific conditions. Which leaves us with a pretty powerful thought. If we can use a simple algebraic equation to weigh things we can't even see, to pinpoint the identities of invisible gases floating all around us, and to engineer life-saving technology, what other hidden mysteries of the physical world is mathematics just waiting to uncover? Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and never stop marveling at the cinematic world of chemistry.